Hi, and welcome to today's lesson. We're working on lesson 3.4 out of the 7th grade curriculum. Today we're going to be focusing on percents, and we're going to be turning those percents into decimals. Today's lesson is pretty simple. A couple steps I want to make sure that we do remember, and if we can get those steps remembered, then we should be able to go ahead and work hard and master this basic skill. So there's a couple of things that we want to make sure we remember and we know about percents. We're going to go ahead and talk about the word percent. The word percent is another word. Another word for it would be a ratio. Every percent has a ratio of 100 with a denominator of 100. So if we're all taking our Cornell notes, we should be writing on the left-hand side percent. On the right-hand side, we're writing the definition. A percent is a ratio whose denominator is 100. Also, we want to make sure we know the symbol for percent. That way when you see the symbol, you know that it stands for percent. Many of us know this. There might be some who don't. Go ahead and write that down for me, please. If you need to take some time, go ahead and hit the pause button and hit play once you're done. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and draw a line into our notes. We're going to draw a line in our Cornell notes, breaking up this section. And we're going to go ahead and talk about writing a percent as a fraction, as a decimal. So percent into decimal. How many of you guys know or think about it? How many of you heard the Cupid Shuffle? Okay. In my classroom, I kind of taught the kids this lesson with Cupid Shuffle in the class. So in the song, it says, you know, everybody to the left, to the left. So that's what we're going to be doing with our problems here. So for example, if I have 65%, my first step is I'm going to get rid of this percent sign. So step 1, I'm going to drop the percent. Step number 2, I'm going to add a decimal. So now I'm at 65 with the decimal at the end. Step number 3, I'm going to move the decimal to the left. And if you know the song, Cupid Shuffle, move the decimal to the left 2 times. So I'm going to have 65, I'm going to go 1, 2. My final answer will be 0.65. Pretty simple. All we're doing is moving that decimal to the left 2 times. We're going to go ahead and do another example. Well, you may ask, Mr. H, what about a problem that is a longer percent, 325%? Am I going to move that decimal all the way to the 3, in front of the 3? My answer to you is, think about the song. What does the song tell you to do? The song tells you to do to the left, to the left. So that means we're only moving it 2 times. So let's go ahead and do this one together. We're going to write 325. We're going to drop the decimal. I'm going to move my decimal 2 times. 1, 2. I'm left with an answer of 3.25. Very simple, very basic steps. All we're doing is we're dropping that percent and turning it into a decimal. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and give a problem for you to do. I want you to try to do this one on your own. Let's see if you can do this problem. 32.6 I'm going to go ahead and ask you to hit the pause button and hit the play button when you're done and you have an answer. Alrighty, let's see if you get this answer correct. You're making sure you are working with me. Make sure you have the same steps. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and drop the percent. So I'm going to write it as a problem without the percent. Since I have a decimal, I don't need to write one in. I'm going to move my decimal how many times? That is correct. 2 times. 1, 2. You should have the answer of 0.326. If you got that answer right, go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back. Excellent job. Alrighty, here goes problem number B. Again, I'm going to ask you to hit the pause button so you can work on it, and hit the play button when you think you have a correct answer. It's going to be a trick question or a trick problem. There's a negative in there. Let's see if you know what to do. Good job. Let's see. You tell me if you got this answer. You should have had or gotten negative 0.22. If you got negative 0.22, you are correct. For those of you who did not get it, let me show you what we're doing. We have that negative sign. We keep that negative sign. We have this percent. I don't want this. I'm going to drop it. Put the decimal in the back. I got to move my decimal how many times again? That is correct. 2 times. 1, 2. Gives me an answer of negative 0.22. Alrighty, you should have gotten that answer. This is a very simple and basic skill. All we got to remember is drop it, drop the percent, move that decimal 2 times to the left. Remember, if you have a negative sign right here, if you have this negative sign, make sure you keep that negative sign in your answer. You do not want to drop that negative sign, otherwise you will have the wrong answer. So I hope this short video was beneficial. Hopefully you got something out of it, and I will see you guys next lesson when we talk about turning a decimal into a percent. Have a great day and see you tomorrow.